Okay, welcome in the Probably Wrong podcast, where if you think we're wrong, we probably are. We got week 7 action. Week 6 is in the books. I think we all feel differently about how our teams are doing here after the week 6 happenings. Burrows, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Niners in first place in the NFC West right now. Looking up.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably feel the best. I have no idea. Rob's struggling.
Yeah, Cowboys
Rob,
are
how are you
pretty
feeling?
banged up.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. I mean, the division itself, the NFC East is. I mean, the Commanders are one game up on the rest of the division right now. Giants
Yeah.
play the Eagles this week. Who knows what happens there? They win, then everybody's tied for the division, and then I don't know. We'll see how it plays out when everybody starts getting healthier.
Yeah,
But right now, I'm not too high on the Cowboys.
I can imagine it was a rough weekend. For me, I know we won, but it wasn't the most convincing of wins. That's why I said Rob's upset, Adam's happy, and I'm middle of the road, and I don't know what to think about my team. We had some big news. Devontae Adams traded to the Jets, back with Aaron Rodgers. Can't imagine Aaron had anything to do with that.
Nothing at all.
Don't say it all on that team.
And yeah, the big another trade. The Browns traded Amari Cooper to the Bills.
The bigger the trades, I believe, the bigger, the more impactful trade to me.
Josh Allen has a number one.
Bills are already good without that, and now they have an excellent route runner. The guy just being wasted. Browns, seems like they're resorting back to like they had 1 year. Now they're going back to you got to get rid of Watson.
They can't get rid of him.
I don't care. What are you gonna do? You're gonna waste the money when he sucks. Who cares?
You just gotta rip the Band-Aid off at this point. You eat the money and you just move on. You lost fans because of him, because of all his history. So I mean, at this point, what are you gaining from him? You already lost the money. You already paid him. You already
it's done. The money's gone. He's got it. He's got the money. Your team sucks.
In there. Just give him a chance.
He's gonna go. He's gonna if he plays the rest of the season, he's still gonna throw 20 interceptions. Who cares? It's gonna be better. You're still gonna have a chance to win football games.
He'll still probably throw 30 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll throw 20 INTs, but 30 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. He's
just what you call a slinger, a gunslinger, Brett Favre style.
Just get rid of it. It doesn't make sense. You have if Chubb could come back, which he's
this week
gonna take carry this week. He's gonna come back and play. You have him and Njoku, Cooper, a solid thing right there.
Cooper gone now.
Well, I mean, yes. Well, let me get to where I was going. You have those three and Watson, and now you're going to get rid of those guys to rebuild around Watson? That doesn't make any sense. I don't care how much money he's worth.
I don't think
it's about winning. You got to win. It doesn't matter if the money's gone.
I think if they rebuild, it's not going to be around Watson.
But then what are you getting rid of Amari Cooper for?
I mean, I think they're going to rebuild. I just think Watson's not.
They got draft picks. Guess what? They got more for him now than the Cowboys did.
They really did. The Cowboys got what?
The sixth.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And they got a third for Cooper. I love the Cowboys organization. Jerry Jones, not a happy birthday to you. It wasn't a happy birthday. I'm glad that actually happened. F you, Jerry Jones. F you. You're a disgrace. No, what? No, move on. I can't.
Go for it. Let it rip.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
He's gone.
No, I don't want to. It's too late in the night. Nope. F you, Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones went on his weekly radio show and told that guy he's getting someone else to ask the questions.
His radio show that goes on every Tuesday for the last 2 decades. Guys who've been there for 15 plus years, Shams and all that. I listen to him a lot. And yeah, it wasn't even a tough question. He's old now. He's delusional. He's
sensitive. Apparently,
refuses to admit
he's
that.
Sensitive.
Super sensitive. But he's just refusing to admit that he made a mistake, or just accepting the fact that hey, other people's ideas, mine might be right and yours might be wrong. And he just will not do that at his age and his stubbornness. And and he has FU money. So why would he now at 82 years old start listening to someone else? His entire life he never had to. So why now?
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. It's this old. you've made the decisions. And to get to where he is on his own, thoughts and stuff like that. It's probably hard to be like, I might be wrong now after 82 years of billions of dollars of stacking that up.
Yeah.
What did they ask him about not doing anything in free agency?
Well, the whole going all in and admitting that they have issues on the team right now, that his moves in the offseason weren't good enough to help them succeed the season.
Right.
And he got all defensive that how his moves were just good enough. And if you're not going to ask me I'm not here to get berated by my own staff. I got, journalists who do that. My own guys should ask me questions like, hey, Jerry, happy birthday. You're doing a great job. I'm glad you brought back Zeke. F you, Jerry. F you. I'm done. Move on.
Yeah, well, what did he think? They were just going to ask him questions like Brandon Aubrey? He kicked the field goals. This is great. I don't know.
He got us the points.
Our leading score, Brandon Aubrey. He's actually second highest in the league, too, in points.
I believe. I mean, he could kick it from anywhere, the parking lot, and make them. I saw. We back to the Browns for a second. Do you know who is the leading touchdown scorer on the Browns so far this season?
Jerry Jeudy.
Someone on the defense?
Yeah, Roddy McLeod.
Yep.
Roddy McLeod leads the Browns in touchdowns. He's a safety and plays defense.
Tell me you have a problem without telling me you have a problem.
Let's keep the Watson train rolling. Love that for them. So I've been thinking this week, and we're a third of the way into the season, basically. Who are our top 3 best teams in football? Do we think, Adam? Who's your top 3 teams right now?
Just based on how the season's been playing, I'd put the Lions up there. This not order. It's just top 3, not particular 1, 2, 3. Just top 3 overall. I think Lions, Ravens. I've been playing lights out recently. I have to put the Ravens in there, and then the Texans. Texans have been playing very well.
Oh, you read my pregame notes, huh? You read my pregame notes.
I got notes from you.
That's interesting. You've left out the 2 teams without a loss.
The Vikings and the Chiefs.
I think Chiefs. First of all, I don't think they should be 5-0. At least they should have 2 losses. They are, I know, but they shouldn't be. Vikings.
Who goes further in the playoffs out of those 2, though? The Vikings or the Chiefs?
It's going to be the Chiefs.
All right, now Chiefs or the Texans? Who do you think goes further?
Texans.
We'll see. But yeah, they're
bold.
Rumble off what he just said. Ravens, Lions, and Texans too. They're my top 3, just based off what have you done for me lately in the last 2 weeks or so. How you looked. Now the Lions with Hutchinson being hurt, that could affect them a little bit.
It could.
But now with Bills getting Amari, I kind of actually shoot them up probably in that top 3 category. And then the Vikings and Chiefs, I kind of they're like on the outside looking in kind of to me. Like they're undefeated, but at the same time, I mean, they lose. Honestly, the Chiefs lose the Browns next week. They were playing them. I wouldn't be surprised just by how much they've just been skating by throughout this week or this year, I should say.
Yeah. I guess that kind of leads to who you guys are taking this week in the Lions-Vikings game. For me, I'm going to put Minnesota there. I don't think the Chiefs are top 3, even though they're undefeated, like you guys are saying. They kind of squeaked by, penalties late, different things like that. I'll also take the Lions, which that's 2 teams in the same division. That division's crazy.
It's crazy.
5-0, 4-1, 4-2, 4-2.
That's division in football right now.
For sure. And then for me, like a top 3, it's kind of a toss-up. Baltimore, the Texans. I'm going to say the Texans, but if you wanted to convince me it's Baltimore, I probably could be convinced. But I'm going to take those 3. As I was trying to think all week, who is the best team? Because it's like if you just look at record, I don't think either of those 2 are exactly those 2 undefeated teams are exactly the best team in football.
Also, like it is only a third of the way through, so schedules. Like for a lot of teams, maybe the first half is okay. These are the games we need to win because the second half is brutal.
Mhm.
So I mean, I can't recall on all these teams who they play throughout the season so far, but I'm
Yeah, I have
guessing.
to look
I don't think
myself.
the Texans honestly had a tough schedule so far throughout the year. So like that's one of those teams. Let me start seeing you stack up some big wins, and if the Chiefs go out and destroy the 49ers this week because Niners just can't move the ball because of their quarterback, like I'll be like, okay, maybe the Chiefs are that good actually because Mahomes.
The
Because of
Texans,
their quarterback.
the Texans have beat the Colts, the Bears, Jacksonville, the Bills, and the Patriots, and their one losses to the Vikings.
Okay, so they beat the Bills as the only really respectable team so far throughout the season. As
Yeah,
good as we think the Bengals could be, they haven't been good this year. So
and,
can't
and the
say-
the Bears win was week 2, so Caleb was still.
still trying to figure things out.
Did they
Yeah.
destroy the Bills? Do I remember that correctly?
They won by 3.
Okay, no, I don't remember that correctly.
You didn't
then.
remember that.
So they
I
beat the
didn't.
They beat the Colts by 2, the Bears by 6, the Jags by 4, the Bills by the Bills by 3, and then they beat the Patriots by 20 last week.
Who's it? Does this show the next? You look at who's the next 4 games against?
Packers, Colts, Jets, Lions, and then they have the Cowboys. I only see the Cowboys because you asked me because they're next.
No, I know they were coming up.
Mhm.
Yeah, so right there, that's like a tougher next 5 games than the first 5 games they would have had. So you kind of see where they are.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets obviously better. Like Packers, Jets, Lions, 3 of their next 4. That's a pretty decent schedule right there.
I mean, knock on wood, and Cowboys should be healthy when they play them again. Their defense
should be.
Yeah, it's 5 weeks away.
So we'll see.
They finished down the stretch though. Titans, Jags, Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens, Titans again.
I hear like 2 or maybe 3 teams out of that should, be challenging. They should be fighting for that 1 seed, honestly. That Chiefs game is going to be that Chiefs game is probably going to be the game of the year, probably, if it comes down to like who might get the 1 seed in the AFC.
And then the Ravens were back-to-back weeks. Chiefs, then the Ravens.
Oh yeah, the Ravens too. Yeah, the AFC is going to be fun to watch down the stretch.
If you want to see though, the Vikings, 2 of the 3 left out of their top 3 have beat the Giants, the Niners, the Texans, the Packers, and the Jets.
And the Jets.
And there's a little bit different. They beat the Packers by 2.
I think we'll see how good the Vikings are this week.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big game. That's an exciting game. It's close for me. I don't know. I just think going down sucks. I picked Hutchinson to be Defensive Player of the Year. He was
Player of the Year next year now.
Well on his way to competing for that. You think the Lions are going to go after Hassan Reddick?
I think Crosby.
I was going to say, I think they're going after Crosby.
That also makes sense.
Crosby doesn't have the contract and issues that Reddick has right now. Hassan wants that money, and Crosby only has 1 more year on his deal, and he makes more sense.
I don't know how true it was, but what I read earlier today, Crosby was in the Raiders' office yelling at everybody.
Yeah, I heard he was like pushing coaches and stuff.
Yeah, he wants out.
Yikes.
Well, that kind of is Max Crosby, though. So, I mean, it's like, is it acceptable when he does it because that's just who he is? Or is he kind of like crossing that line saying, hey, my team sucks. Adam's gone. I don't have a quarterback. I want out kind of thing?
He wants to win. He said he wants to win.
Yeah, I get that. So does everybody in that building. There's no one in there that's like, I hope we lose.
They're not going to win on that team.
Not his fault.
You got to have – you don't go and get a guy like Devontae Adams and not get a quarterback.
No.
Well, the only reason Adams went there was because of Carr.
Carr.
They got rid of him. He lost interest in being on that team immediately.
So if he's gone, why you put all your energy into finding a new one?
How about them Cowboys?
Also,
before I get the kick and wing, the Lions are also in an all-in moment right now too. Like this is kind of their thing. They have to go all in. Because, I mean, their window is probably now and then maybe next 2 years with injuries and guys getting older and contracts. So I see that if they're going to make a move, it is this year. And they're lucky because Hutchinson got hurt, but at the same time, they're lucky it was a broken leg, not like an ACL. So he should come back full strength compared to like an ACL injury. So he might not be the same kind of guy kicking.
Kicking with only the Cowboys could do.
Catching strays out here. So we talked about the trades before. So you think the Bills trade is better than the Jets trade?
Yes.
I do for the team. I think the Cooper matters more for the Bills than Adams does. Because I mean they already had Wilson and Lazard and all that. They had other guys running the team. Cooper matters because Allen didn't have anybody. You can see through the first few weeks of the season. He was just kind of just doing it on his own and like just making guys look maybe decent. And now he has like a true number one. And honestly, Amari might have been the most underrated wide receiver in the last decade in football.
For sure. He could have been definitely.
He was amazing on the Cowboys. One of the worst. Jerry Jones, FU once again, getting rid of him for nothing. No need to get rid of him. One of the better contracts in football. I digress. Cooper, yes, better move for the Bills.
Plus, the Jets ate all $11 million.
Yeah, it was
that.
Ate that whole contract.
And it's a conditional. It's a third, but it could be a second. It's either he has to be on the roster for an AFC Championship game or a Super Bowl, or he has to be All Pro first or second team. I don't know.
You better start doing something.
When you're watching the Jets, is it really like you're thinking like, boy, this team could use another receiver? Is that really like why we're losing games?
I think that team could use a whole nother offensive line and quarterback.
I mean, Rodgers is fine. Rodgers still, I don't know.
The last couple of games, he threw the game-ending interception.
But like, what I didn't like is he blatantly called out Mike Williams at the presser at the end.
Also, Zerline cost them a lot too, missing 2-3 field goals that game. I mean,
he missed 2, but Tyler Bass missed 1 for the Bills also.
I
mean, but he threw a pick at the end of the game twice, and now he's blaming Mike Williams. That ball was underthrown. He said he had to adjust at the last second. But Mike Williams ran to a very open part of the field.
He slipped too a little.
Well, he had to come back for the ball. That was the thing. Yeah. And then the guy who intercepted the ball upside down.
Also, I was reading too that Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers had the same exact numbers as like from last year to this year. That they're no better now with Aaron Rodgers than they were with Zach Wilson. The same
exact fire Salah,
same exact touchdown interception ratio. It was they got rid of their best probably coach on the team, but they're not much better Rodgers basically at the end of the day.
And is that like a Hail Mary saved them? Like
in that game,
you come down with that. The one thing I liked about it with the new coach for the Jets though is Breece Hall's usage. Breece Hall ran the ball 18 times. He was on like
over 100.
No. Yeah, he over 100 yards, and he was like in on like 86% of the snaps. He ran a route on 72% of the pass plays. I'm for that as an owner, and plus, as for football, I think for them, Breece needs to touch the ball more. And like the Allen experiment, okay, cool, but I think Breece needs to be, just give him the ball, but.
He's one of the most dynamic running backs in football right now. I mean, especially after the way he finished last year.
You
think he'd be like the Derrick Henry type of guy where just getting the rock, making it easier on Rodgers of all things. I mean, that also has to do with the offensive line if they can't run block for him. But I mean, you think with the way they're struggling to score and like Keegan would say in the red zone, you think that's a better way of getting points for them?
It's a little baffling that they would just be like, I don't think you need to touch the ball very much. It's just not good.
Hack it.
Not a good process to me, but it seems like obviously that's got to be new coach, and then he comes in and touches the ball more times he touched it the 2 games previous. So that's coaching.
Might change with Devontae there now, though.
Yeah, we'll see though.
Yeah, I don't know if it touches if it affects Breece that much. Maybe slightly in the passing game, but if he's gonna. If he's on the field for 86% of the snaps, he's gonna get a majority of the touches The Allen only played 12 plays on Monday night.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the move moves the needle that much for that team. Because even in the last year on Green Bay, they just fed the ball. He just forced them the ball and never spread it around, which caused more turmoil on that team. The Packers succeeded since he's left because he's not force feeding Adams the ball. Honestly, I honestly don't see how this move. Okay, you got more talent, so it never hurts.
Yeah,
but I don't think it really helps them really, other than you have insurance at receiver in case Wilson or someone goes down. But I just think that if he's force feeding Adams, they might be worse now after this move because then that's really not going to help the offense.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think like I said, I'm not watching that game and being like, wow, if they just had one more receiver on their team because 2 of them went over 100 yards and scored.
One of them Wilson the last 2 weeks has been amazing.
Yeah, and like Wilson had another touchdown, he got popped, but like that's just Rodgers to me. Like, I need this guy in here. I need Devontae Adams in here.
What Rodgers wants, Rodgers gets.
Yeah, clearly, his ego might be the biggest downfall.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the talent is there.
I agree with you guys. I think Cooper. Guys definitely have Cooper on their bench, just like hanging out, and then now he's on the Bills. Got Josh Allen. His stock just went through the roof.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
But you guys want to talk some week 7? We could talk some week 7.
I'll talk some week 7. I'll talk some anything you really want.
Do you guys have anything on your mind? Anything you want to get off your chest?
Brock Purdy.
Week 6 wise.
You keep saying.
I said I'm going to say Brock Purdy for next week. Next week, Brock Purdy talk. Next week,
keep saying, if only they had a quarterback that could. What
we're gonna have lots of notes.
He keeps saying that, and Brock's like getting better.
Yeah,
just like the first week, I was like, all right, and then he's just like getting better.
He scored a long touchdown because the guy fell down, helped the stats.
Hey,
but that's next week. That's next. Let's see how they do this week. Let's see how deep.
Guess what the 49ers did. Guess what the 49ers did that the Cowboys did not do this past week.
Oh,
what was that? What was
that?
A
touchdown.
Wow. What's your record and what's our record?
3-3.
Yeah. Congrats.
The statistical evidence to back up their points was just we scored a touchdown. Let's just you know what?
Next week,
we'll
folks,
get into the game.
Tune in. Next week, tune in.
You guys play each other next week?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! Bloodbath. There will be blood. We can get into once we get on these topics of these teams, we could talk about them. Because to start, we have London football again. Jacksonville stayed in London this week. The Patriots traveled over there. Jags giving 6 to the Patriots. Some say this is the worst thing we've done to England since the Revolutionary War, is putting these two teams together on a Sunday morning. 1-4 each. Crazy. No, my initial thought is if Jacksonville has been in London for 2 weeks and then the Patriots on a regular schedule and then they have to travel to London this week to play them, that seems like such an advantage for Jacksonville.
Well, I guess, yeah, because they're already there.
They're already there.
The rule is right now that you can't leave England until you win. So, I mean,
that'd be so funny. That would be so funny.
So they might be there for a long time.
Stayed there for the rest of the season.
Honestly, Go ahead. I was gonna say.
I was just going on with that joke that they have to stay there all season. The off season, they have to stay there and everything. It'd be hilarious.
This game though, Dougie Peterson, you lose, you're done. You will stay in England. It's chips and fish, whatever they have down there, and Criscuits and beans, because that's all he's gonna be used to having. Whatever they have.
You're fine. He's been there. Don't worry.
But yeah, I think if he loses one, they have to stay in England for another week. And Dougie's gone. And if it's Trevor's fault and he's not looking great, you got to start at least thinking, is this our guy? They paid him, but is this their guy, like, going forward?
So I don't think it's an if the Jags lose. I think the Jags lose.
True. You think they're going to lose?
I think Drake May gets better than what he looked like in his first game as NFL starter last week. He looked good. He made
that was a good ball. He threw the booty.
Good. New England's defense isn't half bad. I mean, they're good. They're good.
Hey, Drake May. He can scoot a little bit.
He can scoot.
He can scoot a little bit. 5 for 38
last week too.
They're playing in England. Give me the team with England in their name. Give me the Pats. See you later, Jack. See you later, Doug. Stay there. Have your Crisket and beans.
It's not Crisket is not a thing. Are you talking about crimpets?
Whatever Rob said, Crisket.
Tea and crimpets,
beans, croquettes. I don't care.
The hell is a croquetta?
They're all.
Why are you judging us on the food we're saying?
Because they're not words. Or you made up words.
Look it up. A croquetta. It's like something. But yeah.
Give me the New England clam chowder.
And give me the Jaguars. I think Dougie gets to come home to the States to see his family after this. I think they have like it's a sloppy game, but they pull it out. I don't think New England scores very, very many points. And I think Jags just had one of those big touchdowns from Thomas or something like that, and they just kind of squeak by this, and they finally get to come home. Give me the Jags.
You're taking the Jags?
Yeah.
And Adam's on the Patriots. Guess we won't talk about our Patriots pick from last week, huh, Rob?
Honestly, it was looking. If you close your eyes, you squint hard enough.
When was it looking good for them?
If you squint very hard, and you think about it, they were close.
May's stat line was pretty decent. He took 4 sacks. He threw 2 picks. It's your first game in the NFL. You're playing a really good football team, but he had a good game.
He had a good game.
He looked good. That ball down the sideline for the touchdown to Booty was nice. Booty,
rocking everywhere.
20 for 33, 433 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He ran 5 carries for 38 yards.
He could scoot.
He could scoot a little bit. He's a little bit more mobile.
I want royalties on that.
He could scoot. Kind of like it. I don't know. I'm going to take Jags show me nothing. Patriots give me a little bit of promise here. A younger quarterback, if he improves at all in his second week, I think Jacksonville's done. I'm taking Patriots back-to-back weeks. Maybe nail in my coffin here. I don't know. I have to retire from picking picks after this, but I'm going to take the Patriots. Plus 215 money line favorite or underdog. I don't know if I say no.
Lock it in.
That's a rake the leaves in the morning kind of game. See the box score when it's done.
So see, I'll watch it because I want to watch Drake May.
Well, yeah, that's true. And it's the only game on. It's 9:30 in the morning. There's nothing else on.
So we'll sit that nice for him.
You're gonna watch the news.
Cup of coffee.
Chores.
Meet the press. Chores, yeah.
Something Nick Sirianni hates to do.
Speaking of Giants at home, getting 3.5 as the visiting Philadelphia Eagles come into town. Now, before I kick it to you guys, the Eagles are arguably like the most unprepared team to come into a football game week to week.
Why is that?
Well, so in a sense, it's Sirianni because he's the head coach and he should get them ready to play football. You should be ready. You should be your schemes at least early on. The chirp in the crowd shit. ESPN loves that stuff. The media loves that stuff to give them a story. I don't really give a shit. I think it's stupid. Yes, I think it's really dumb. I don't think you need to be chirping your own fans because
he's a hypocrite. Because he yelled at Carter, didn't he, earlier in the season for doing the same exact thing?
Oh, I don't know if he yelled at him, but yeah, he might have. I don't know either way, but yeah, for sure, because he was in the Saints game you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean Carter was tripping away, and he is like, "Get back over! You can't be doing that." And 2 weeks later, though, he's kind of doing the same thing.
Well, after the game, he was in the locker giving the post game speech, and he said like 5 times in a row, "Hungry and humble, hungry and humble, hungry and humble." But we just beat the Browns by 4, which, in my opinion, we were in control of that game the whole time. I never felt like we were out of control of it, but we needed to beat them by more. We needed to do more. They didn't score an offensive touchdown. Or did they? No. Either way. No, they didn't. But
the Browns did not.
No, because they blocked the kick. The chirp in the crowd thing, whatever. They want to have a story, they got a story. My problem is that we're not ready to play football. Most games, what? You script the first 15, 16, 17 plays on offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't scored in the first quarter. So whatever they're seeing on film, whatever they're scheming, my problem and who's going under the radar is Kellen Moore. His play calling is not what it needs to be. You're not using the right players. You're not doing the right thing. It doesn't. I want Saquon to touch the ball 10 times in the first quarter. Just 2 weeks in a row. The first series last week, Saquon 5 yards. A deep ball down the left side of the field, and then an incomplete pass again. Turn it over. And Saquon doesn't touch the ball. 2 weeks ago, we did the same thing. You have to be ready to play. If you're scheming these plays for a week for this team and we have no points, we don't have yards. I don't even know how many yards we have. It's got to be like less than 50 in the first quarter. It's terrible. And it's on Sirianni also, but if you're calling plays and this is what you're scheming up, that's bad. And now, which leads me to say, I think if they could get that under control, at least early on in the game, so they're not clawing back or letting teams hang around, they might be good. They got a lot of good players. They're all healthy again, except for Mailata. Slade's okay. Yeah, that's hated that.
Know the feeling. So what do you got in this game then? After all that being said,
I think I'm still on the Giants suck. The Giants are bad.
I don't know if you can say suck. I can say they're not.
I don't think they suck.
The Jaguars suck, but the Giants aren't bad. They have weapons, and their defense.
Malik Neighbors is awesome. I think Malik Neighbors
is not bad. Like awesome. Tracy Jr. has been looking good as a running back, and their defensive line is actually very good. Yeah, Dexter Lawrence, Burns, like they have a solid line. They're not a team you just be like, okay, this is our bounce back week. We're playing the Giants. Here we go. I mean, Daniel Jones, he could scoot. He might fall down 5 yards from the end zone, but he could scoot. He's been showing good at him. If one thing, the Eagles game, run defense.
I think the Eagles, if we score in the first quarter this week somehow, I think they're just a better team than they are.
On paper, yes. Especially with your receivers being there too now.
Yes. AJ Brown is insane. Smitty had a great the backup tight end, Calcura. I can't think of his name at the top of my head. Thank you. He caught like one ball, and he was so fast. I was like, what is happening? But that was just, But I'm going to take the Eagles. I think they're a better team. Are they better coached?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that's debatable.
It's a coin flip right now.
I'm not even trying to just be an ass about it. Like, it's debatable right now what Nick has done in the last 14 games. It's debatable.
Shaved his head.
Yeah, I saw that.
He did, yeah.
They just need to there's got to be better play calling. I want to, like, early on, just call plays to try to sustain a drive. Not like, okay, Saquon established a run with the first play of the game being a run, and then you're throwing like, I'm all about the deep ball. That's cool, but like, I want to see a drive you put together to march down the field, like assert some dominance over a team, tire the defense out, and then
I kind of told you about this. Become more experience. I mean, I witnessed it myself for 4 years. It's pretty painful. It's run the ball when you have no really reason to need urgency, and when you want to establish a run, it's 3 quick deep shots. And you're like, what are you doing? It can be very frustrating. Not much motion, and in 1 week you will show a lot of motion. That 1 week you won't. But
yeah, we're like last in motion.
Yeah, this week I actually got the Giants though. I got it because as much as the Eagles fans want this to be the Barkley revenge game, let's establish the run, go all off. Not saying he probably can't do it. The Giants' best probably strength of the team is the defensive line. Eagles are a little banged up with their offensive line. I mean, even the stars who are playing are not probably at 100%. I think they could get a Jalen, and so far he's shown the last, dozen and a half games or so that he could turn the ball over. And I think with Neighbors being back, looking like a stud, and Tracy Jr. kind of showing like, hey, he might get some production on a Eagles defensive line that kind of gives up running yards. I think they could kind of keep it within the ball game and maybe squeak away with a field goal to win the game. Give me the Giants by 3.
What happens if they don't have their kicker again?
Well, then, you throw everything out the window, you break glass because of emergency. And then you have Neighbors just try to go for a Hail Mary or something because it's just wild that, these guys are paying millions and these guys are sacrificing like everything. And then it comes down to a field goal at the end of the day after they break their legs, and then a kicker is the reason why you win or lose after 60 minutes of like hell. It's stupid. They should always have emergency backups for every position, like the quarterback, the kicker, the punter, something like that, where they don't play unless the other guys
one-off positions.
Yeah, like how they have that emergency quarterback now who's not on the roster, but he's there just in case. Same thing with a kicker. You should just have somebody there. Some college dude, dropout, just, hey, go kick me an extra point.
College dropout.
College dropout.
Needs a buck.
Bring in one of those kids from college game.
Just a college dropout that can come kick the field goal. Whoever McAfee picks on Saturday to kick the field goal.
It would have been better with him what the Giants had last week.
They have to go and kick wherever he's needed. All right, so I'm on the Eagles. Rob's on the Giants. Adam, you're the tiebreaker.
As much as I want to pick the Giants because I really like Tracy Jr. He looked very well the last 2 weeks, and Neighbors is playing this week. I just think the Eagles have too much right now on offense with Barkley, Brown, and Smith. I think, like Rob said, it's going to be a close game. He said Giants win by 3 on a last-second field goal. I think it's going to be the other way around. The Eagles by 3, probably last-second field goal.
So you're saying the hook wins it, huh? Give me that half point for the win.
It's 3.5. Well, I said what I had to say about the Eagles, but they're kind of pissed. It's just pissed me off with the play calling. I can't stand it. I wouldn't even it should be concentrated. It should be Saquon, AJ, and Devontae, and that's it. I don't want anyone else to touch the ball. Dallas when he's healthy, okay, but especially early in the game, you just got to feed them. But whatever. All right, we'll move on to the next one. We got a big game. This next one's a big game. Vikings at home, giving 1.5 to the Detroit Lions. Vikings 5-0, Lions 4-1. This is a big game. We were talking about it earlier. Adam, take it away here. What do you like? Where's your lean?
I'm leaning towards Detroit this game. I know Hutchinson just snapped his leg in half. That's going to hurt a defense of Detroit that sometimes is a little I can't. You know what I'm trying to say. Words. I know, but I think just that offense that Detroit has right now, they're clicking on all cylinders right now. I mean, they have a 2-headed monster at running back.
They really do.
They got the sun god.
Yeah, and then Williamson is playing lights out as well. Laporta,
don't forget Laporta.
I was going to say Laporta might only touch the ball once or twice a game, but he's out there and he could scoop. He proved that against Dallas.
Yeah, well, Laporta didn't, but
oh no, he proved it.
He ran that one.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think both offenses are just going to move the ball down the field, and it's going to be no defense whatsoever.
Didn't we say the Vikings have a good defense though?
They do,
yes.
But
yes, they do.
They do, but I think Detroit's offense is just better.
Better than their defense?
Yeah. They have too much. They're gonna spread them out, and just Goff is just gonna be able to pick and choose who he wants to give the ball to. I guess it might be a 3 to 5 point game, but give me Detroit. Vikings get their first loss. I think Sam Darnold makes a mistake somewhere late in that game to seal the deal for Detroit.
All right. I like your points.
You think Darnold just makes a mistake, or you think the Lions force him into a mistake?
I think Darnold's just going to make one.
Yeah, because he's been doing that all year.
He has. He started off pretty well those first couple weeks, but then he came back to earth a little bit. Their last 2 wins.
Yeah, by not their last 2 wins. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob.
The counter Adam kind of stuff here is the Vikings defense is very good. The Lions are all offense. I mean, I know the Cowboys sucked ass last week. They only scored 9. That wasn't because the Lions defense doing all that. I mean, in a way it kind of was, but their offense just kind of took control. The Vikings defense is very good. Aaron Jones will be back. And I think the Vikings offense could put a lot of pressure on that Lions defense, which would put Goff in a situation where he might have to start forcing a play or might take away that running game a little bit where he has to throw the ball. I'd much rather my chances for the Vikings if they get to a point where they have to make Goff throw the ball compared to if they could just keep running the ball, that 2-headed monster. Also, I read this morning, too, the Lions, Hutchinson had 40 quarterback pressures so far this season. The rest of the team had 7 combined. So, I mean, that doesn't very bode well for giving, like, Darnold a lot. I mean, it seems like he might have a lot of time to throw the ball to Jefferson. And I think the Vikings kind of maintain a lead or right there and make Goff go into a shootout. I like the Vikings that situation. Give me the Vikings this game. Damn, that was well said.
Yeah, Darnold was not that good against the Jets. 14.
Also, Vikings are at home.
Completions on 31 passes, 179 yards, a 45.2% completion percentage. He threw a pick and he was sacked 4 times.
But what's the most important stat?
The dub.
Mm-hmm.
The W.
Mm-hmm.
But that leads me to think Vikings defense is legit good. And what Rob said there was slightly eye-opening about the QB pressures. If you lose, so your team had 47 and the guy with 40 is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
That is a tough thing to recover from. The Vikings are at home. I think I'm going to lean Vikings here with that defense at home. That crowd's going to be going crazy in that dome. This game is huge. You stay undefeated by beating the Lions to separate yourself a little bit more. That's going to be big. I think the Vikings.
It's interesting you two both went Minnesota here.
Why?
Both of you just named Detroit one of your top 3 teams in the NFL.
I also named the Vikings.
Vikings were left out.
I named Vikings.
I said they're on the outside looking in, and they're knocking on that door. Welcome home.
You both left the Vikings out. I picked the Vikings and the Lions.
And that was then. This is now. I chose
that was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. God forbid.
Okay. So 2 for the Vikings, 1 for the Lions. We can move on. Browns at home. Getting 6. Bengals visiting. Now 41.5 point total. Browns lost to Amari Cooper. Rob, what do you got here in this slobber knocker?
What was the game? Browns versus who?
I was like, do we have to spend a lot of time on this one? I mean, Cincy?
Yeah, just give me Cincinnati. I mean, their record isn't great. I said it before, but yeah, I don't want to spend much time. I think Cincinnati just it's one of those boring AFC games. They just win by like 10 or 13 points. Higgins, Chase kind of just do their kind of thing against a very bad, just disorganized team right now. I don't want to spend much time talking about them. Bengals won. Plus, we already talked about them enough earlier in the show. Bengals cover the spread. Lock of the week.
Bengals have a plus 5 point differential and are 2-4.
Yeah. Bengals lock of the week. Hammer it.
Bengals win.
So are the Jets too, actually. Plus 5-point differential, and they're 2-4. But look at the Raiders. They're 2-4, and they have a minus 54-point differential. Yeah, the Bengals are easily the pick here. The Browns stink. We'll move on. Titans at the Bills. Bills giving 9.5 at home.
This might be another one where
a quickie.
The Bills.
Yeah, Bills get Cooper. I don't know if Cooper's playing it. I'm assuming he's going to play.
Yeah, they said he's playing.
Yeah.
Limited snap, but he's playing. Same thing. I like the Bills in this one. Titans do always play them tough, though. They're like annoying. They're like a gnat. They're easy to kill once you finally get them, but they're always around. Like they stick around. Like they're gonna play tough till the end of the third quarter. Then you kind of pull away. But I like the Bills kind of pull away in the fourth quarter and kind of cover that spread. But I think they kind of keep it close the first half.
Yeah, I'm the Bills are a better team by far. So 3 of us picking the Bills, 3 of us picking the Bengals. I guess you'd probably want to fade those picks and go against us and win some money this weekend. Then we can move on. Texans at the Packers. Packers giving 3. Very good game.
Listen to me. Reed was the pick.
Yeah, I did see that. Tank Dell scored. You think if this game was reverse fields, Texans at home, they'd be giving 3?
Yeah. I mean, basically, if you're giving 3 at home, that's basically a pick 'em.
Even, yeah.
So, Adam, and then who do you like? Packers at home giving 3 to the Texans.
I'm gonna. And they are top 2-3. I'm gonna go Houston. And it's not because I picked them as a top 3 team. I just think they just have a better team currently than Green Bay. Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell and Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is playing some of the best football I've seen him play in a long time. Looks like he's rejuvenated. He's like, I'm out of Cincy and I'm finally getting used constantly and have an offensive line to actually, block the players in front of them and not just let them go and tackle me immediately or making me miss 3 guys before I get 5 yards.
Yeah, he's never really had a line to run behind.
Never. The Bengals offensive line is still horrible, but I like Houston in this one. I think that over is going to cover. I think I don't even know if they'll 3. They might win by 3. They might win by 2, but give me the Texans. I think Joe Mixon's going to have a big game.
Mixon's the play.
Mixon's the play here.
We were talking about Rodgers, and he fed Devontae Adams the last time, and this team couldn't be more opposite of that now.
Oh my
with
God.
all the receivers they have that are they're all good. Dobbs, Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson. He has a lot to spread that ball out. He's hurt a little bit though. But it's just when you said that before, I was thinking that's just wildly different than when you said that it was just Devontae Adams target town. Rob, who do you like in this game?
I like the Texans in this game. The Packers are that kind of team where they kind of been scammed by this year. I think they 48.5. Yeah, definitely a shootout. But I think the Texans. I think it's going to be a lot of field goals though again in this game, where I think both teams kind of stall out in the red zone, where the Fairbanks and all of them start scoring a lot of field goals. But I do like the Texans to win this. I'd say about 10 points. I'd say.
Yeah, I think I'm on the Texans also. I would say Texans have a better defense than they do. Offenses might be somewhat comparable. A quarterback,
comparable.
You probably make an argument for either side. Receivers both have good receiving cores. Running backs, maybe Mixon right now probably takes it, but I would say their defense is a little bit better. I'm gonna take the Texans. especially.
This is where that Diggs trade actually comes out to help a lot, because you think about, like, oh, where's Diggs going? They already have Tank Dell, all that. I mean, with Collins going down, if Diggs wasn't here, this team looks completely different. And you're like, well, they're in trouble right now. Tank Dell is your number one, which I know like people like and all that, but he's like a flashy player. He's not the guy like the Collinses of the world or even Diggs. So that trade's just showing its like worth right there.
Yeah. Because I was against it myself. I was thinking like you just cutting Tank Dell off at the knees there in the beginning, and now I mean it works out for them here with the injury and all that. Is that across the board Texans right there?
It was.
Tank Dell or Devontae Smith?
Hello, Ryan. Congratulations on your child. But I would like take down this game, dude, because of Collins being hurt.
I'm taking Tank Dell as well. I think I'm hoping the Eagles actually take their heads out of their asses and beat Saquon this game. So give me Tank Dell.
I think there's relatively the same. You could pick either one, and the other one could go crazy or not. I'd probably lean Tank Dell. I don't know. It's the same.
Is it in Lambeau, the game? The game was on. I don't remember. Is it?
It's in Lambeau.
It depends on the weather, but if the weather is nice there, I'd like Tank Dell still.
I mean, like Devontae scored last week, big touchdown.
Tank Dell scored last week,
40-yarder.
That's exactly. I mean, that's what I mean. It's the same. Flip a coin. If you're a Texans fan, play Tank Dell. If you're an Eagles fan, play Devontae Smith. Whatever you want to do there. I don't think there's. It's a coin flip for me. I love Tank Dell too. That's why I mean, I don't see a difference there. We can move on. Seahawks at the Falcons. Falcons giving 3. It's a 51.5 point total. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock games are pretty stacked up.
I was saying that they're nice.
Yeah. Rob, who do you like in this one? This matchup?
Give me the Seahawks in this game. It's going to be the Geno weird, Geno with 320 yards passing, DK with 120 yards, 2 touchdowns kind of game. JSN doing his thing, Tyler Lockett with that big 40-yard catch, when they needed to extend the drive. Falcons
DK game?
They're just a weird team to me, the Falcons. Like, they have all the talent now, on offense at least, but still
seems like they don't know how to use it.
Yeah, I mean, that's coaching, owner, a lot of different things. I mean, so I think Seahawks are just – it's going to be one of those just weird games. Seahawks defense is not terrible either, so give me the Kirk Cousins not looking like a great kind of little hurt, like little old kind of, not looking great, moving the ball down the field, looking slow. Seahawks take advantage of the running game and that passing offense, and give these Seahawks the cover of the spread.
Cover on the road. Well, they're getting 3, so.
Hell yeah.
Adam, what do you got? You have old Kirk Cousins this week too?
I gotta stick with my boy Kirk here.
That's your boy.
Swag surfing.
Yeah, since when?
Swag surfing Kirk Cousins.
All right.
Swag surfing.
Elaborate more on the game, huh?
It's going to be another big Bijan game.
Another?
That's what I was wondering.
What was the first?
Last week.
Let me see the chart.
The chart.
Go on. He had 2 touchdowns last week.
Big Bijan week.
Bijan had 2 touchdowns last week. I think they finally continue that Bijan train. Gets in again this week. I don't know. Seahawks didn't look good last week against the Niners. They did not look good. DK was throwing fits on the sideline. I don't know. The team's falling apart all over again. Just they don't look good. And I could be biased here because I just hate the Seahawks.
But you're killing it.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Algier touched the ball more than Bijan. Had more yards than Bijan.
Bijan had a big game though. 2 touchdowns, 80 yards rushing. Yeah.
15 carries for 95 yards and 2. Tyler Algier, 18 carries.
103, I believe.
For 105 and 1.
You believe wrong?
That was close.
And Bijan caught 3 balls for 10 yards.
I don't know.
On 4 targets.
Mooney's coming along for that team. Mooney looks really good, actually. Mooney looks really good.
That's why I said I think Mooney was the miss. I mean, he only had three catches for 38 yards. I mean, if London doesn't score, this receiving core just looks.
It's in Atlanta too, and that crowd loves Kirk Cousins. I mean, they go crazy for him, so it's going to be loud in there.
Well, they're also decent again.
They're decent again. I mean, Kyle Pitts is actually doing stuff this year. Still not like a top 5 tight end like everyone thought he was going to be, but at least he's involved.
Is this more so though? You just want Seahawks to lose because they're tied with you in the division?
It's part of it.
Yeah, 100%. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Instead of your boy Kirk Cousins, just say, "I hate the Seahawks."
Atlanta doesn't look bad though. They have not looked bad the last couple of weeks. They've looked better than
fine.
Seattle.
They're 4-2. I get it.
Seattle started 3-0 and lost 3 straight. I mean, Seattle does not look good right now.
Yeah, and Saints were NFL Super Bowl contenders after 2 weeks, and now look at them. I mean, things change.
Seahawks did not look good. They're on a losing streak. They're yelling on the sidelines, pouting about every little play that's going wrong for them instead of taking accountability. Little crybabies over there in Seattle.
Oh, say with your chest.
Little crybabies over there in Seattle. Oh. Seattle fans chime in. Are you crybabies?
All that rain they get is just the tears.
It's just tears of their fans
Seattle crybabies
and their teams. That's brilliant. I mean, if it was like if you're drafting Bijan Robinson when you just had a 1,000-yard running back in Tyler Algier, I'm going to use him. I mean, he touched the ball 18 times. That's fine. But, I mean, it was a 38-20 game against Carolina. I'm turning him into prime Le'Veon Bell. Like, you're going to catch the ball to 10 targets. You're going to run the ball 20 times. I just don't quite understand that. I mean, 15 carries. Okay, I don't know. I would – or I wouldn't have drafted him. I mean, should have put an offensive lineman in there. Chargers did it. They didn't draft Malik Neighbors, and they needed a wide receiver. They drafted Joe Alt, and he's shutting people down. Offensive line's important. God. Oh, well.
Who you got?
Rob, who do you got?
Seattle again? I told you,
Seattle.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
What, I was wrong?
No, I'm drinking water. I was just
he's testing us.
Thinking that in my own head about it. Falcons at home for me. That's fine. This 51.5. It should be a pretty good game. I'll take the Falcons at home. Hopefully they get their a similar stat line for all of them as they had last week. Let's move on. Dolphins at the Colts. Colts giving 3, a 43.5 point total.
Oof.
Yikes. Anthony Richardson's playing.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor.
He kind of lost his excitement to me.
Yeah, it's hard when he keeps getting hurt, I think.
And he's not very good.
He just can't. He's just not accurate.
So it matters.
It really does.
Is it crazy to say if Richardson wasn't playing this week and Joe Flacco was still starting, I would take the Colts like if they were giving like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I get that. Like Anthony Richardson was before he got hurt. Like who besides that one big play they had week 1 where that throw was amazing, what has he done?
Pierce. Yeah, not a ton.
Then Joe Flacco comes in, like Downs looks really good.
Flacco, 22 of 38 for 189 yards and 2.
Yeah. Blowing it up.
I get that. I mean, I get it. You'd be more excited. I mean, Dolphins don't have a quarterback. but neither do the
think they do
Colts.
that.
To the Colts right now.
Neither do the Colts.
A-Chain's back though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, a little more offensive power. Huntley's there for 3 weeks now. Just to skip and save some time, I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game, just because of the weapons again, and Richardson just not being very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go ahead.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins as well. Just Richardson's just not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna be on Dolphins too.
Yeah, if Flacco was playing, honestly I'd take the Colts, but Richardson's just bad.
Richardson's gonna run for 150 yards.
If he does, he's gonna get hurt doing it.
He's going to like Josh Allen. We're all going to be idiots.
Yeah,
but he could. He could look like
he's gonna run for 150 and throw an 80-yard bomb for a touchdown to whoever. No, Jonathan Taylor. I don't know, but there's McDonald's is too smart to not figure out how to get the ball in those guys' hands.
Is that Ronald?
Is what, Ronald?
You said McDonald.
The double chicken Whopper.
Yeah, sure. Anyway. Yeah, I like the Dolphins there. We can move on. Dolphins across the board. Anthony Richardson, inaccurate, 150 yards rushing. Lock it in. Panthers at the Commanders. Commanders giving 9.5 and a 51.5 point total of a. Did you think you would see a 51.5 point total on this game? I would love to know what this opened up at in the beginning of the season if they had a line for it, because that's high.
They have to expect the Commanders to be scoring 30 of those points.
They have to be expecting it.
I mean, probably. Commanders' defense is not good, though.
No.
Though they looked pretty decent. Not decent,
Not
but they
good.
didn't get crushed by the Ravens last week.
It was a shootout. It was a good game.
Yeah. I mean,
they gave up 30, but I mean, I feel like for what the
lot of
Ravens are and what they've
a lot
been,
of teams give up 30 to Baltimore.
that's not like.
Sometimes more, Dallas.
So Rob, who do you like in this game?
As much as it pains me to say it, Commanders, the Panthers aren't good. They got Brooks back this week, but I mean, that doesn't really matter. It's just a running back on a shitty team with a shitty line and a shitty owner. Give me the Commanders. I don't want to talk about them anymore. Jaden Dillon scares me. I'll talk about once the Cowboys have to play him more.
Yeah. Adam, what do you got there?
Just give me the Commanders. Daniels is going to have a field day against that Panthers defense.
Yeah, you might be right there. I'm checking to see.
He's projected for like 27 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Well, that's always accurate.
It might not be accurate, but when's the last time you saw someone just like projected for 27?
Brian Robinson leads the team in rushing at 325 yards. Jaden Daniels has 322 yards.
Is this are you saying this is a game JD
10 less
goes
attempts.
over 100?
Yeah, this has got to be the first one. I like Rob said, we're both NFC East guys. I hate this. like I hate it because he's kind of awesome, and by kind of I mean he's really awesome.
He's awesome.
Like I said, I thought he was going to go for 1,000. He needs to step it up a little bit to get there, I think, but I don't know what he's on pace for exactly. But against this team, dude. If AR doesn't go for 150, this guy might go for 150 in this game. He might run all over this team. Terry McLaurin looking like Terry McLaurin or like rookie year.
Finally having a quarterback to throw him the ball.
Exactly. I'm Commanders by 1 billion. I don't care. The Panthers are terrible. They're at home.
Lock of the week.
I don't even care. I don't even care if Panthers score 25. They're still going to cover the spread. The Commanders.
Yeah. Commanders might put up 40.
It's just the team's just better. And surprisingly better. I don't know. Jaden Daniels is awesome.
It's the offense.
I mean, that's the surprise that he's playing this well, and that's why they're 4-2 or whatever they are.
I guess at this point, who would you have taken first? Would you have taken Caleb still first overall? Or would you have taken Jaden?
I'm still taking Caleb.
I'm taking Jaden.
I mean, you're kind of doing in the moment kind of thing. Caleb's looked much better the last 2 weeks.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm talking about 6 games in.
I still think Caleb's going to be able to do more because his arm's better than Daniels is throwing the ball great with his arms, but I think Daniels, the whole running aspect of it kind of like makes defenses kind of hesitate a little bit, where Caleb is just kind of making plays down the field with his legs, not so much running down the field with his legs. And I mean, there's a reason why Caleb was the can't miss prospect, and he's kind of showed the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he
looks better.
He looked a lot better in the last game.
Great last week.
No, he looked really good again, but against the Jags.
I mean, he still looked good. I mean, he still to look good. I mean, the first 2 weeks he didn't look good. He didn't look like an NFL quarterback.
No, he looked like
very bad.
But Jaguars or not, the fact that he's starting to look like the first overall pick is good to see. Just for the NFL, just some more fun to watch as well.
Yeah. I think excited about Jaden
Swift actually remembering how to play football is helping that team a bunch.
As long as he reads the right hole, he's probably going to score. He's so elusive, but he just never can read what hole to run through.
That was confusing to me because like I can't imagine like he just fell off the edge of the earth like that, like and forgot how to play football. I don't know. He looked a lot better.
First few weeks.
Commanders across the board there then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Raiders at the Rams. Rams giving 7.
Big Rams guy. Give me Rams.
Give me Rams.
Yeah, I mean the Raiders have nothing. Brock Bowers is going to go crazy in this game, though.
Cooper Kupp.
Kupp might be playing back. I don't think they've decided yet.
No Kupp, no problem.
No Kupp, no problem. But Brock Bowers is going to have. This is like 100 yards.
Yeah, Tucker's out too. I mean, they have no one now. Adams,
Tucker, have no one.
They really do have no one, and it's the Brock Bowers show, and I'm here for it. But yeah, that's a Rams for me at home. Kupp comes back. Puka back? Puka's like week 8. Never mind.
Puka's not
he's
back
gone
yet.
for a while.
Yeah,
he's out.
So we can move on. This is the Niners at home visiting Chiefs. Niners giving 1.5 at home and a 47-point total. Adam, would you like to talk about this game?
Well, we're really going to see how good San Fran is at 3-3. We're going to really see how good the Chiefs are at 5-0. It's going to be an interesting game. Are the Chiefs really a 5-0 team, and are the 49ers better than a 3-3 record? Game scares me because we just never seem to beat the Chiefs just ever. I don't want to talk about this past Super Bowls, but we cannot beat them. We can't even beat them in the regular season. But it is promising. Debo. Yeah, thanks.
That sounds promising. It's all that stuff you just said sounds super promising.
You got to win eventually.
Like quarterback,
it's time to just get over that hump against the Chiefs.
In a game that really doesn't matter.
In a game that really doesn't matter right now.
Why is this game not mattering?
It's
early this season.
Early in the season.
AFC wins or losses don't affect as much as NFC games.
I mean, it matters for the overall record, but if you lose this game, you could come back from it.
Gotcha.
But I'm still taking San Fran.
I feel like tied at 3-3 in the division with a 2-4 Cardinals team right there. This game might mean a little bit more than you're saying.
I mean, like I said, but they could bounce back from it. Like it's not.
Well, yeah, I know.
Right now. Just say to pick the Niners, and you're like,
I said I took the Niners. I'm picking the Niners. I mean, Debo's healthy, Kittle's healthy, Jordan Mason's playing. Ayuk's kind of starting to come along. He had a really good week 2 weeks ago. Didn't really do much last week, but he didn't have to. But he's finally starting to get his legs back under him. And there's a man by the name of Ricky Pearsall who is playing this week, and I can't wait to see what he could do with a hole in his chest.
You keep saying that, but how much is he going to play? You just mentioned 4 other weapons. Where is he going to get on the field?
He's their third option at receiver this week.
So he's only playing 3 wide receiver sets.
Yeah, I mean, but
so what's he going to
run? On a run-first team, like I mean, cool for him. It's a good story. Getting shot and coming back. I mean, let's see if he's shot out of a can or not when he's on the field.
I think just this game, the Niners defense finally shows up. I think the Chiefs offense just isn't good currently. They're missing some pieces here and there. So I think Niners defense just takes control of this game finally, and they finally beat the Chiefs.
Okay, Rock.
You can smell what Adam's cooking. Go ahead, Rob.
If it walks like a mongoose or talks like a duck, whatever the saying is, it's probably
that was it.
That's close. Close.
You nailed it. Go ahead.
It's probably going to be a Chiefs win. But because, I've been saying all year, Purdy might have a couple of good passes here because the receivers, defender fell down and he took 80 yards, but the stat sheet looks cool and all that. Chiefs defense is very good. Purdy's not good. So I like the Chiefs in this game. I think for this, the 4-0, how we start the segment or the show, how they're not looking like a really good 4-0 team, this is their statement game where Mahomes wakes up this season because he hasn't looked very good. I think this is the Mahomes where he wins the game on his back. Kind of like the whole, like, hey, Purdy, the reason you guys haven't won Super Bowls is because, hey, you're cool and all that and you're good, but you never do enough to win the games. You kind of just manage them. I'm Mahomes.
He outplayed Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
I'll show you how to win a game. And I think Mahomes goes down, and I think they kind of take over actually in the fourth quarter. It's not very close. Give me the Chiefs by 10 because of the quarterback.
Well, the Chiefs they've won one game.
I said this is the breakout game. This is the game where Mahomes, him, and Kelsey. This is the Kelsey kind of game where he looked good in the playoffs. He didn't look good in the season. It's going to be like a Kelsey playoff kind of game.
The only game that the Chiefs has won that was more than a touchdown. One touchdown was last week against the Saints.
That was then. This is now
26-13.
They
won. They beat the Chargers by 7, the Falcons by 5, the Bengals by 1, and the Ravens by 7. Which leads me to say, so the point differential for the Chiefs at 5-0 is plus 33. The Niners point differential at 3-3 is plus 32.
I think
the Chiefs are just skating by here in a lot of these games. I think at home the Niners are going to beat the Chiefs here.
We'll see who's wrong.
They're missing a lot,
missing a bunch.
Obviously. Niners are kind of a complete kind of team. Still good. I'm taking the Niners at home.
Good team, but Mahomes finds a way. He hasn't had weapons on.
He does. If I'm wrong here,
and he wins Super Bowls without weapons. So I mean, what's anything else? Plus, he kind of, like Fraley said, he owns the Niners.
In those exact words. I knew I was waiting for that. Yeah, you did though, kind of.
Think that ass.
Purdy's trash though, but the Chiefs defensive coordinator comes out and says that there's nothing Purdy can't do on the football field, and he scares them. According to Rob Papsis, though, he's trash.
Mm-hmm. Steamy pile of dog water. Shit, nasty trash.
Scores more than 9 points in a game, though.
Yeah, he also has the same rings as Dak. Next game, though.
Same rings, but appearances.
Yeah. Well, Dak just got a new ring on his wife's hand.
Yeah, Purdy got married this offseason too. Boo-hoo.
We're talking about them getting married right now? This is the battle you're having?
It's the only ring that he's probably going to see.
That's why Adam never fires back at Dak. And this is the perfect week to just be like, your quarterback sucks. And Adam's like, the Chiefs
got engaged. Congrats.
Yeah. What are we talking about here? Anyway, we can move on then if that's all you have to say about that. Jets giving 1.5 to the Steelers in Pittsburgh, a 39-point total. As we said, Jets just got Devontae Adams. Adam, what do you think here?
I'm still riding with the Steelers in this. I just remembered who's starting for Pittsburgh.
Russ Wilson, starting quarterback, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's act like Fields has been good. Let's not act like this whole Fields Russell thing.
He has not been bad. He has not been bad.
Look what he's been very bad.
He's 4-2.
That's fair. That's the argument I would say is 4-2.
Yeah, TJ Watt's 4-2.
Why would you bench him right now at 4-2?
Because he's not good.
What has he done to show you he's not good? He's winning.
TJ Watt, that defense is winning. He's not good. They lost to the Cowboys. That's in a lot right now. Because he couldn't do anything. Look at that game alone. He was terrible. The reason they lost that game is Fields couldn't drive down the field. Open your eyes, Adam.
Fields is 106 of 160 with a 66.3% passing completion percentage, 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, a 93 0.9
Don't put your hand up. 5 touchdowns.
rating.
Out. Please.
How many
I
touchdowns
mean,
does
if you're
Dak
winning,
have right
if
now?
you're winning football games, you have 1 interception, and you're 66%.
Their kicker has more points.
That's fair, but I mean, if he's getting in position,
He's not losing. He's not doing anything.
And if he was good,
I'm just saying he didn't do anything to get benched.
I can't exactly. Why
For this
why
guy.
bench him?
Augusta.
Like for Russ, who I mean was just, if we're talking about hot trash.
Russ Wilson.
I mean, Russ Wilson last year was garbage. At least
he wasn't as bad as you think. Look it up.
he wasn't. His numbers were not as good as Justin Fields were through 6 games for sure.
How many touchdowns does Fields have rushing this year too?
That's a great question.
Probably like 2, maybe.
I think it's more than 2.
They don't score. The Steelers just don't score points. It's literally why they're losing. All like when they do
lost 2 games only. What do you mean? Why they're losing?
The games they won, they don't score a lot of points. It's because of Fields.
He has 5 rushing touchdowns.
So he has 10 touchdowns on the year.
Fumbled 4 times though. I don't know. I wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't mess with a winning record.
I get that point, but I just don't think Fields is giving any reason why you can't make the move either, though. It's not the reason you're winning games. That's all I'm just saying. It's not the reason why you're winning.
I'm not benching a team that's winning. It's not the quarterback's fault. If you're 4-2 and you're doing well, he's not doing anything to lose you the game.
Russ wasn't as bad as I thought last year.
I told you.
With all that being said, I'm taking the Jets this game. Devon, I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to have a big game, even though the Steelers' defense is amazing. I think he's just going to have that first game back with Adams. That's just going to be like, this is what we needed.
Also, the Steelers are on a 2-game skid too. So I mean,
they were 4-0. Before we continue on, would you start Hall or Dobbins? I'm assuming Breece Hall.
I would assume too.
See, that's actually really tough right now. I'm going to go Dobbins, just because right now he's the only running back in LA on the Chargers, and the Arizona rush defense is one of the worst in the NFL. Dobbins is just going to eat against that defense.
Touches the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I'll find a way to start both of them. If you got 2 running backs,
starting both
I'll be starting both.
You the ball in the first round, probably. So you got to start them.
You don't have to.
Guess that's what we get handcuffed to, but yeah, true. Gun to my head, I'm starting Breece Hall over J.K. Dobbins, but Adam made a compelling point there, and I would try to start both of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So Adam took the Jets. Rob takes the Jets. I don't think it gets better in New York. I'm gonna take the Steelers. Rodgers should be on his ass in this game. I'm in the Steelers. I don't know. Devontae Adams isn't going to be the key. Maybe I'll eat my words, and he could have a crazy game and they could win by a few. But I think the Steelers, I'll take them.
Moving on.
All right. We have 2 Monday night games. The first one, Bucks at home, getting 3.5 from the Ravens. 49-point total on Monday night. Rob, go ahead.
Is Mike Evans playing? I'm legit asking. I don't know.
I don't know yet.
So.
If Mike Evans is playing, Baker got the goods. I like the Bucks. They just keep rolling. I love watching. Actually, I haven't loved watching the Cowboys this player, but the team I loved watching the most so far this year has been the Bucks. Baker, yeah, he's throwing these interceptions, but their fungus are throwing the ball down the field. You don't see that very often now anymore this year. Teams spreading the ball down the field, and I just think they're going to keep scoring. The Ravens, Lamar, I think they can control them a little bit. Give me the Bucks in this game.
Mike Evans didn't practice on Friday today.
Now, if he doesn't play, that's a huge loss, and I will say the Ravens. But if Mike Evans plays, and could play, like saying he's going to play and actually plays well, are two different things. But if he plays and he plays kind of similar to his Mike Evans capabilities so far this year, I like the Bucks. They just keep spreading the ball around.
Yeah, that's what we were saying before earlier in the season. Bucks are fun.
Bucks are fun.
I usually just like the team that knocks my team out of the playoffs, but I've been enjoying the Bucks, even though they just took a shit on us too this season. They're a good team. I don't know. I'm excited to watch them. Baker's cool. Adam, who do you like?
I like the over for sure. I think that's happening.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm going to take the Ravens right now. I know the Bucks are playing very well. The Ravens are also one of the best teams right now in the NFL. Like they've been playing lights out just like the Bucks. I think the Ravens have a better rushing attack, so I think they're going to be able to control the clock a little more and give their defense more of a break. And they're going to be a little more refreshed to go against that Bucks offense where the Bucks defense is just going to be gassed. So give me the Ravens.
You know how not to be gassed? You know how to control the clock? One man and one man only can help you do it.
Oh, here it comes. Wait for it.
His name is Bucky the Buck Irvin.
Always.
Get your Bucky bets in.
Also, they have a three-headed monster now, too, with Tucker and White being back. But Bucky's the main guy. The three-headed horse, he's the main guy.
I'm still taking Derrick Henry over any of them.
Same.
I mean, so would I, but Bucky's the man.
I like this is going to be a good game. I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins. I'm surprised it is
I hope they do.
over a field goal. I didn't think they'd have the hook, but I kind of like that if Evans doesn't play. I like that lean. I'm going to take the Ravens. They've been better. Derrick Henry looks like he's 23, not 29, 30, whatever he is.
Here comes the laugh out louds, but give me Baker as the MVP of the league right now.
I'm not going to disagree. He's been awesome.
Picks aside, I think he's been the most fun and the most efficient quarterback going right now.
Boy,
dude got the goods.
Did the Browns screw that one up, huh?
The whole organization screwed that up, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's not in the top 5 of passing. You know who is in the top 3 of passing in the NFL currently?
Brock Purdy.
And?
Well, Bucks had a bye already, so.
Geno's 1, Brock Purdy 2, Dak Prescott 3.
Yeah, and none of those teams you're going to see are top 3 teams. You know, stats lie. Next show.
Stats lie. I was just looking to see where Baker falls on this. Oh, he's 8. Baker's 8.
Concept of the show, Adam. Stats lie.
This is the second Monday night game. Last game of the week. We have Chargers giving to in Arizona. 44-point total. Rob, how do you see this one playing out?
As much as Kyle Murray is looking smaller and smaller and smaller because the worse they do, the smaller he looks. Give me the Cardinals in this game. I think he looks a little taller. I think the offense scores some. Chargers, they're good. They're a solid team. I just think it's one of those Cardinals. Their offense kind of clicks that this week, and they just kind of take over and they win.
I'm taking the Chargers. I think, like I said, previous statement, I think Dobbins is just going to be a workhorse and carry that team to victory. Also, I don't know who Kyler's going to throw to this game. Harrison Jr. is out.
Dortch.
I mean,
Michael Wilson.
Their offense is going to struggle. Chargers defense is not.
Connor's not a definite to play either.
Yeah,
wait,
I mean,
is Harrison out?
Yeah,
he concussion last week.
I thought they said he practiced today. I just thought
he didn't clear. He's out.
Oh boy, yeah. Still give me the Cardinals.
No Harrison, no problem, huh?
No Harrison, no problem. Maserati is in the shop.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Chargers. I just think they're going to control the clock, and then with Dobbins, it's going to be a big Dobbins day. He's 25
until he gets hurt,
carries
like
or more.
does.
Maybe
this game.
but
this game,
he's going to touch the
Cardinals
ball
have no defense.
almost
Like
30 times.
They might be either dead last or very close to dead last in rushing defense, and the Chargers love to run the ball.
He really, Coach Harbaugh really does love to run the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
And he's back on the sidelines this week after having some heart issues last week.
There's a flutter. Who
They're
hasn't been in love? Who hasn't been in love?
He's in love with that run game.
We bring up the Thursday night game real quick next week. Rams at home, getting 3 versus the Vikings. We're a week away. It's tough. We don't know injuries or whatever, but
yeah, if Cup plays, I'm still taking the Vikings in that one.
Week 8, Puka might be back too.
Still give me the Vikings in that one.
Vikings have to lose eventually. Give me the Rams. They're my team.
Vikings are losing this week.
Team. Yeah, actually, I like the Rams at home in that one. I mean, it's a long way away.
2-2 Outwell, baby. 2-2.
What do you think? Just getting
what
cut back and Puka. 2-2's not even to see the field.
That's
Maybe.
to say. It's so fun to say.
It is a good one. It is a classic name.
2-2. San Francisco.
You guys got what? So what's the lock of the week? Rob? What was your lock of the week here?
I think it was the Bengals.
Yeah, Adam, your lock of the week.
I think I'm gonna switch it up this week. I've been picking the Bengals just because they've been playing. The last week I picked the Bengals because they just seemed obvious. This week it seems obvious to pick the Bengals. So let's switch it up. We're gonna pick another obvious one. We're gonna take Washington. Lock it in.
Okay.
Chuba Hubbard, baby.
I wanted to not keep it. But yeah, that's mine also. Washington. That was going to be my pick, my lock of the week, the Commanders. I think they're going to crush them. A lock of the week, not just by winning, but by covering. Locked. Loaded. Give me a touchdown score. Anytime. I hit a AJ Brown first touchdown score last week. That was very nice.
I'm going to surprise you with this anytime touchdown score. Give me Drake May.
You think he's going to run for one?
He's going to run for one.
He's going to scoot one in.
Give me Jamar Chase.
That makes a lot of sense. Drake May on the scoot. Jamar Chase.
I'm going to have our viewers win money here. I'm not going on a limb.
I don't.
That's a shoe. Terry McLaurin is going to score maybe twice.
Scary Terry.
You guys got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Cowboys get healthy after the bye. Big matchup next week. Except for that episode. Outside, I'm looking forward to the 1 o'clock.
Can't wait for that one.
Next week, bloodbath.
Mm-hmm. All depends on the injury report. But yeah, I'm excited just for the 1 o'clock games finally to actually. I feel like from beginning to end should be a good
1 o'clock games are nice this week.
Yeah, sometimes I hate when the Eagles are on 1 because then all those other games are on, and it's not. I want the Eagles to play like 4 and see all the 1 o'clock games, but that's just my personal thing. What?
Why did they add 2 Monday night games this week?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Does he look like a devil to you?
I don't get it. Why you would have 2 Monday night games at the same time?
More TV, more viewership.
I guess I could think is like you get more primetime games. People could see more of their teams in primetime.
Did they flex one?
I don't know. Eagles got flexed next week to 1 o'clock.
Was Baltimore Tampa Bay not supposed to be Monday night game and they added them in there?
I doubt that's a good game. There's no way that was flexed to that. They did. They do have the opportunity to flex more games this year, though. Before it was always like week 18 or 17. Now they can do it throughout the season, depending on the matchups and the injuries and all that. I think it's just to get more viewers. ABC, ESPN, same company. Why not use both platforms to get more eyes out there on teams?
Yeah. But we guys have nothing else.
This Friday.
That's it for us. For Adam and Rob, I'm Richie. Thanks for watching.
Brady's still trash.
Dak is the worst in the NFL.
You got engaged, though. Congratulations, Dak.
Well, go Dak.